A radical, a liberal, a magical criminal. Before I go off on the explosion in France and the connection that explosion has with right here in Utah, which it has a very close connection, and with our presidential race, I'll tie this whole thing together. I want to make a comment. I don't know if you've seen the YouTube video about the longshoreman going off on the camera guy, setting up crew. I love that fucking guy. I love that guy. For the first time in a long, long time, you're starting to see Americans had a fucking enough. And they're finally standing up. And what I've said for years, they're taking on the bully and they're punching the fucker in the mouth. Something the left never learned to do in this fucking country. The progressives knew how to do it. The left used to know how to do it. Truman knew how to do it. Both Kennedys knew how to do it. The great bull moose progressive of all time, Teddy sure knew how to do it. These liberals have let these guys beat him up, but I love that guy. I love that guy. You're finally seeing people starting to fight for their fucking jobs. They want a fucking class warfare? They fucking bring it on. They've used nuclear class warfare on us for years. And people, they have been fooled through religion, through Fox News, who are nothing but fucking terrorists. Who fucking, CNBC is nothing but a propaganda machine for CEOs. The whole fucking media's turned into a propaganda machine. And we're tree huggers. We're fucking, I'm an environmentalist. Big time, big time. I'm no fucking tree, I'm no pussy. I'm a fucking tree hugger. You fucking right, I'm a tree hugger. But I'm not in the context of what you guys think a tree hugger. Take me on, motherfuckers. I love this guy. I love it. Finally, people. It is not about the exploited. It is the exploiter. It is these fuckers. I don't know about the rest of you. I'm tired of fucking being broke. I'm tired of these fuckers stealing our fucking jobs. I'm tired of these Chinese junky goods coming into Walmart fucking annihilating our community. I'm fucking tired of fucking my construction business having to fucking outwork 15 fucking men. They're being paid $5 fucking hour in cash against all fucking laws. And they call themselves patriots when they're paying no fucking tax. I'm fucking tired of my Wall Street career being taken fucking apart by a fucking computer because we have no labor fucking laws. We have no strength. Remember when the fucking progressives and the liberals fought for the working class guy? And Obama's speech, I finally loved the speech he gave. I loved it. Stand your fucking ground for once. I got your fucking back. Guys like that longshoreman got your fucking back. We're ready to fucking fight. Let's fucking do it. Now back to the explosion in France. Isn't it ironic that explosion happens in the south of France? All you fucking corporate elitists that think you're fucking in the south of France and you're abstract from this fucking whole nuclear fucking mess that happened to Fukushima. Oh no. Oh no. There's enough plutonium been released and people think I over dramatize and I'm way over the top. Bullshit. Bullshit. Fuck it. The experts are all over out there with how much fucking plutonium's been released. It's fucking thousands of times, you know. This is fucking so fucking grotesque. This is the biggest story of our time. They're crushing our environment. I'm sick of these motherfuckers taking our fucking and abusing our fucking Mother Earth and somehow calling themselves fucking Christians. That explosion several years ago, our legislature, these neocon Kool-Aid nutcases here, passed the fucking law that France could deposit their low-level nuclear waste where this explosion was right here in Utah. Enviro Solutions, who's got an ad campaign trying to fucking grandstand, they named a jazz arena after it, trying to dilute this fucking thing down. They are the biggest fucking abusers of the landscape for years and years and years. Their fucking record speaks for itself. It's horrific. One guy stopped it. One guy stopped it. Who, believe it or not, is a Republican, but, well, they call himself a Republican, but he's really the only progressive I know in this country. He's running for president of the United States. John Huntsman. He vetoed it. He stopped it against the will of these neocon Kool-Aids. That stuff, where that blew up, get this. They take the low-level waste. Now, this dynamic of waste, spent fuel rods being set in nuclear reactors, the clothing has to be disposed of. All the material has to be disposed of. They're burning it. Seriously, they're burning it. That's what France is fucking doing. That's what the whole fucking country's fucking doing. And then they try to say that the fucking fume off the burn, the levels are low enough in the plutonium that doesn't fucking hurt anyone. Look, these things are accumulating. They're killing me. Nuclear fucking bombs have only been around since the Manhattan Project. And I had a conversation this weekend at the track. Believe it or not, I used to sit with a nuclear physicist whose office was right next to Oppenheimer's. He and I become friends. Brilliant fucking genius. End of his life. He's an old man. Anti-nuke, just like the rest of them. These guys, these facilities, when this nuclear energy dynamic was created, always had a so-called solution for the waste. That debate used to rage in the 70s, in the 80s. Used to come up and say, what about the waste? Oh, we got Yucca Mountain. We got Yucca Mountain. We got Yucca. Oh, really? Do we have Yucca Mountain? They sucked up all that fucking money. They never fucking built it. I mean, Yucca Mountain's built. We're not using it. It's all sitting there. So we're fucking building it up. Now, okay, when the Manhattan Project, the open-air test that killed my father out there, and killed all the downwinders in southern Utah, it's accumulating. The half-life on plutonium is how long? It's well over 1,000 years. This doesn't go away. It's not pollution. It's not the solution to pollution is not dilution. This is not pollution. Let's be clear. Okay, so this stuff builds up and builds up and builds up and builds up. Okay, we all have a little bit of freaking Hiroshima in us. We all have a whole bunch of the Nevada test site fucking in us. We all have some Chernobyl in us. We all have a whole fucking shitload of Fukushima in us. That is 3 full-coal meltdowns. And the fucking media should be fucking ashamed of themselves in this fucking... This is the biggest story of our time, bar none. People think I'm over the top. Oh no. Oh no. I fucking started ranting about this from fucking day one. And you play my videos, I will not over the top on this. The plutonium that's been released, the numbers that are coming out are staggering. They are so fucking scary. This is fucking so, this is, like I said, we can become abstract and we can remove ourselves from the political situation, from any kind of situation. I've lived abstractly. Ignore the fucking temporized fucking morons and just find your own way in the world. You cannot hide from this. Not even you elitist in fucking con. You fuckers in the South, you fucking hide. Try hiding. It's in the food chain. It touches every corner of this fucking earth. We have the biggest storage of fucking waste in the fucking world. You know, years and years ago, they stored all the nerve gas out here. Of course, we had the open air fucking bombs fucking here as they marched the Marines, put them in fucking trenches at ground zero and nuked their own men. And that was the far right who did this. Yes. That was the Eugene McCarthy philosophy that did. And that's fact. Fact. That is fact. Look, the research is out there. Robert Miller's fucking work. There's plenty of fucking scientists. It's not like this research doesn't exist, and the media wants to deny that it exists, and the nuclear energy wants to freaking hide these studies. These studies are fucking there. This is going to kill millions and millions and millions of people for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, maybe thousands. It is accumulating. That explosion of France, look, why are all these incidents happening all over the globe right now? Why are they happening? Why? All of a sudden now, over the last year, you think about how many bullets we've dodged in the last year. Why is this all happening now? You know, people say, well, maybe it's some kind of sign by God. I'll tell you why. Because most of these were built at the same time. Okay, their life of the infrastructure starting to break down. It's the baby boomer mentality of not paying for any infrastructure, not taking care of anything, just suck up and blow the fucking money, blow the fucking money. It's catching up with us all at the same time. Now, the weather events, that's catching up with us too. You can't tell me there's no climate change. You can't tell me this fucking weather pattern hasn't changed. And these fucking facilities are not built for these catastrophic fucking weather scenarios that are happening all over the globe. And they are breaking down. The infrastructure of these things are fucking breaking down at once. All over the world, including fucking France, including here, whatever. We are playing such fucking Russian roulette. This is on. These things, this fucking is the worst idea in the history of the fucking world. Oppenheimer said it at the end of his life. Sakharov, the Tsar bomb, won a Nobel Prize in '72 for saying just what I'm fucking saying. Einstein said it himself. The most brilliant minds in the fucking world that knew everything about this. The only reason I become an expert on it, I watched my father die from it. As they marched the 40,000 Marines into a trench and killed them, and I watched it. It doesn't kill him now. He was perfectly fine for a long time. Then mowed down in the prime of his life. That's what's so scary about this. We overlook it because, oh, fuck, it doesn't kill us right now because we got attention spans as long as our fucking dicks in this country. Well, in this fucking world, we don't care. Look, I know what's going to happen. The incident of cancer is going to go off the fucking hook. I've been a stressed out fucking wreck for 6 fucking months on this thing. Seriously. Honestly. And to you far right radical fascist fucks, you can kiss my fucking ass, every fucking one of you. It's like this. It's like when you hear Glenn Beck and you hear Fox News talk about fascism. It's like you're in a relationship and one is cheating on the other. And the one who's cheating accuses the other of cheating. That's what they do. They overcompensate, just like we hate homosexuality, just like all the people that hate homosexuality. It's overcompensation. Just like they don't even know the definition of fucking fascism. Fox News is a propaganda machine for fascism. That is a fact. Look up the fucking definition, you ignorant fucking morons. This fucking nightmare as far as the nuclear energy around the globe needs to be addressed right here in the U.S. everywhere. Bladder systems around the whole thing. Complete infrastructure overhauls. And President Obama, be like Truman. Stand your fucking ground to that longshoreman with that rant. I love you, man. More guys like that. If we all started fucking fighting for our jobs, because these fucking exploiting hairspray fuckers are gonna rob us fucking blind. And the left, you've lost every battle you fought in 30 fucking years. Since Bobby Kennedy fucking died. More than 30 years. Over 40 years. You've lost every battle. Why? Because you don't know how to fucking fight the bully. You're afraid to fight the bully and you tower down in the fucking corner. Time to fight the bully. He has fucking abused you and pushed you in the corner, stole your fucking lunch money, and fucking annihilated Mother Earth. They're crushing Mother Earth. They're killing Mother Earth. Right down. And you fuckers that say tree huggers are a pussy, I'm a tree hugger. I'm no fucking pussy. I'm ready to fight you motherfuckers. Punch the fucking bully. Stand your ground, Obama, or you're fucking done. Seriously. It's time for the left to get fucking tough. That longshoreman. There's your battle cry right there. Fighting for your fucking job and your family's fucking wealth. Which we quit fucking doing. Kevin Blanche.